the best directions I've ever heard. Those are my favorite directions.
Don't do anything. Just
yeah, man.
Yeah. Don't do anything. See what happens here. I want to make sure we have sound. We will, but you know. Oh, good. Look, we look good.
Jim K's there.
1, 2,
I got
3, 4. What? Keep going.
I need you tonight.
Nice. That's good.
'Cause I'm not sleeping. Welcome to Eugene and Dylan's Guitar Show.
That's the right song to start with.
That's a pretty good one. I'm Eugene Edwards over here. That's Dylan, Dr. Dylan Caligiuri right over there.
Yeah.
And I warn everyone now, Dylan's been doing his taxes.
We aim for accuracy here if anybody from the IRS is watching.
Now, we're going to continue our discussion from last time, like great intros, guitar intros, maybe break them down a little bit, find out like why does this thing work? Not going to go too long because I have a show to host tonight.
Yeah,
in
he's working
Hollywood.
on a cough.
I'm trying to get a cough going.
Yeah.
But a couple of guitar stories before we get into the intro thing.
Yeah, of course.
A few guitar stories.
Sure.
So I think it was the last time we did a show. Again, I had to haul butt down to Harvard and Stone.
Right.
Now,
censored.
For those of you who didn't know, before we went live on the air, I was asking Dylan about classical guitars, nylon string guitars.
Oh, yes.
Because I don't have one. I think I should have one. They're beautiful.
That was
to
the
play.
first mistake.
Well, just because, they're easy in the hands. They sound beautiful. They're never too loud. No neighbor complains because someone's playing a nylon string guitar next door. And I know Dylan has a couple, and he studied classical guitar. I said, look, how much should I expect to pay for, I want it good, but that'd be great, da-da-da.
Yeah.
So he kind of started pointing me in a direction. I then drive to the club where I'm playing. It's like a 20-minute drive from here. By the time I park, Dylan has already texted me a link to a used one for sale, Guitar Center online.
Yes.
A 1981 Ramirez, right in my price range. Boom, just out the door.
Now it turns out.
So I just tell myself, okay, I'm sitting on the sidewalk on Hollywood Boulevard thinking, this happens now. If I think about it for more than 3 seconds, I'll talk myself out of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Purchase. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
Ship it. Send it to the Pasadena location. I'll pick it up when it gets in here next week. Awesome.
Little classical in Pasadena. The whole thing is ready to...
I get the email. I get the text also from Guitar Center. Hey, your guitar is here, ready for pickup. Right. Awesome. So the following week, then I go to pick up.
There's a lot of anticipation building.
I'm excited. I drove over this night, and I go in there, and it's a guy. We're just gonna call him Jimmy for the sake of the story.
Okay.
Oh shit, that's his real name. Anyway, so Jimmy at Guitar Center. I said I'm here to pick up this guitar. He goes, oh yeah, and he brings it, and it's this big cardboard box, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, do you mind if we just unbox this here because I don't know where you guys can get rid of the box. I don't need the big cardboard box. Sure. And he says, yeah. So, but kind of got you into my, and I said, well, my streaming partner Dylan Caligiuri, I do a guitar show. He goes, what show? I tell him about the show, and he's like, Eugene Edwards.
Yeah.
He remembers me from the old from the Fender Play and all the Fender stuff. So takes the box out. The case is there. Opens the case. It's like it's beautiful. It's great. He takes it out, and he does that thing that people do in the guitars. And they kind of do that thing.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Yeah, it's sort of a.
And I said,
gunner thing.
I said, are we good? He says, no. Just like that. I said, we're not good. And right here in the bottom of the guitar, there's just a huge hole, just punched right through it, just straight through the body.
That could be an issue.
Just like someone
that
took.
Could present.
I said, I don't remember that in the description. He goes, no, that's supposed to be there. I said, okay, well, I guess. He says, I'll just put the money back on your card.
I would have said $200.
So I don't have a classical guitar.
So if you're listening, Guitar Center.
Not their fault. Look. I don't know what happened. By the way, it didn't happen in the shipping because the cardboard box. Fine. The guitar case was perfectly
right. Of
fine.
course.
Someone just didn't notice.
And they gave you the money right back.
And they gave the money right back.
Totally reasonable.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't have time to run around looking for a 1981 Ramirez classical guitar. So, although this didn't work out, I don't blame Guitar Center. So now the money goes back on my card. And then last week, the reason we didn't do a show because I performed in Nashville on Tuesday and then had the day off in Nashville
Did
last
you go shopping?
Wednesday. So on the Tuesday, we're about to fly to Nashville to do the show, and I'm still in my neighborhood running errands. Now, hold your guitar over your head. Just protect yourself, because a name drop is coming, and I don't want you to get hurt. Okay? So a couple of shows ago, we were performing in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Billy Gibbons was there.
Billy Gibbons.
And Billy Gibbons said very, very lovely things to me. He's paying me very nice compliments, which is a nice feeling, considering I now have to go play lead guitar in front of Billy Gibbons for 2 hours.
Right.
And one of the things Billy wanted to talk about was the B-bender. And he says, there's a guy back in the 70s I loved, and there's you. It's like, to me, you guys, and he was just so sweet. Paying compliments, he doesn't have to say anything nice to me.
Billy Gibbons.
I'm a knucklehead. He's Billy Gibbons.
He was on King of the Hill at
His
one
business card
point.
says Billy Gibbons, friend of Eric Clapton's. I sent a picture of it to Dylan.
That's right. I saw that.
So, and I realized Billy, and he says, we need to talk. He wants to talk about some other guitars that are being made somewhere. These really lightweight guitars. So we're gonna talk some more. But I realize he associates me. He thinks of me as a B-bender player, and I don't actually own one. I just use Dwight's on the gig.
Right.
That's the only time I ever use
like
it. Is
you're an
during the
aficionado,
show
though.
or with the recording studio. But I don't practice with it. So I'm thinking about this.
You're aspiring. I mean, you want to own one.
So I want to own a classical guitar.
Sure.
Like I want to own a Les Paul.
Sure.
So I'm in my and before I go to the plane to fly to Nashville, I call Joe Glazer in Nashville. Very, very. Maybe some of you know about Joe Glazer. He's a guitar luthier, repair person, guru. He's been in Nashville since the late 70s, and he works on very, very famous people's guitars.
Sort of an elite guitar repairist.
Yeah, he's kind of a elite guy.
Will.
So I call him, and I say, Joe, I said, how much do you charge to put one of your benders in a Telecaster? He tells me it was less than that classical guitar was.
Sure.
So I said, okay, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah,
and
because
I
they're
double
not
back,
routed in anymore.
I double back.
Yeah.
I go back to the house. I grab this guitar, and I take it to Nashville with me. So on Wednesday, I drop on my day off.
This guitar right here.
On this very guitar, I take it to Joe Glazer. I said, okay, just do it. And he says, okay. And he says, well, when do you want it? I said, well, I leave tomorrow, so
He said, yeah,
just ship it whenever you're done, or I'll be back to play New Year's Eve in Nashville. So if you want to sit on it, I'll just get it then. He's like, what time do you leave tomorrow? I said, 2:00. He says, oh yeah, we'll have it done. Really? I said, now, Joe, it's you're the one it's your idea that you're doing it on a day's notice, not mine, because I'm not going to pay those Vince Gill rush prices.
Well, and if you're staying up all night, I don't want to be responsible.
So I got it. So I have a bender.
Wow,
I have the
look
Glazer.
at that, folks.
See, so right now the strap lock, I have it for standard, but then you could just take this off and you clip it on here, and now I am I have a bender.
That?
Huh? Now he walked me through it. He's so sweet. He took me through his shop and he gave me kind of like the creation of man history of how he came up with this.
Yeah.
But yeah, the thing is, he doesn't excavate. Remember the last one? Sometime last month, I borrowed one, and you could see the whole lever was in the back. Like they hollow out like a whole chamber. And
right.
Well, Joe doesn't do that. He simply drills very carefully, but from the bottom of the guitar, right next to it, there's this place where you can set the tension. But he drills through the body and just makes a diagonal cut here. And then all the magic, his patent is in this plate.
Right.
And now Dylan has one of these because he has the Brent Mason Telecaster.
Yeah.
And Glazer works on Brent's guitars. So it's not very obtrusive. But he showed me. He says it just all, this all started in the early 70s to now. There was no one aha moment. There's just tons of. But the fact that that he did it so quickly, and I'm already just having it in my hands for one day in a hotel room with no amp.
You already used it.
Well, I'm already
bending.
Well, I'm just finding stuff I wouldn't normally do.
You have to have one to do
you
that.
You kind of have to spend time.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing Memphis, Tennessee, the Chuck Berry song, and that solo. That's the solo.
That
over
sounds
a B
good, right,
major
guys?
chord. My version
like
is
a
to play
guitar.
like a B9 voicing, but oh wait, I guess I have to engage the bender, don't I? Sorry. So my version of it would be like it's hard to play these sitting down.
Yeah, you got to get all the way to the. Now, how do you make sure it's going to bend up the half step?
Oh no, I controlled that.
Okay, so it doesn't necessarily go.
So you
can reset that.
You can tune it. There's just a little roller here.
Okay.
A roller here where you
oh,
can
that's
tune
right.
the
That's
pitch
on mine
of it.
too. Yeah.
And then this screw that's back here by the strap, but you can't really see. Sorry, but there's a little screw next to the strap. That's where you set the tension, how hard you're going to pull.
Yeah.
But
so
I set it for
shoulder injury.
A full step up is where I set it, and then if I get really good, if my aim gets really good, I can kind of control the half step. So here's a full step. Here's an attempted half step.
Yeah, that's cool.
There you go. You just have to just kind of you use your ear like a slide player was. So that's my guitar story. Oh, then Tuesday night after our concert, Shooter Jennings opened for us.
Oh yeah,
and it was this band, and Shooter does a set of just Warren Zevon songs.
Oh,
just Warren Zevon tunes. So it's Shooter Jennings and the Werewolves of Hollywood, and our friend Brian Whelan is in that band.
I think Shooter Jennings lives up here.
Oh, he does.
By the way,
yeah, he does.
Yeah, like on the mountain, right?
Yeah,
here.
he does. Yeah,
yeah.
So it was great to see Luke Adams, one of my favorite LA drummers, was there. My friend Ted Kemp was in the bass. A bass player. He's been with Shooter for decades. It was great to see my old LA buddies. And then after the show, I went to Robert's Western World on Broadway because usually there's some good honky tonk swing music being played there, and I tend to know who's I don't know. I just tend to bump into people I know, and so they asked me to sit in, and I did. Now here's the funny thing about Nashville: when I sit in, the guitar player always has a Telecaster, seemingly. And then they hand it to me, and they realize no one actually just has a regular old Telecaster.
No, it's got a ridiculous.
It's got extra pickups. It's 5 or 6 way switchings. There's phase things.
There's G benders, B benders.
They'll put the tone pot here.
Yeah.
They'll put the volume pot, and so it's never a standard.
You can't even play the thing.
It's so now just like I don't know.
Show me how to turn it on.
That's it.
Yeah.
And they're always set with really low action.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if it's too low, I can't really. And
so if you didn't know this about Eugene, he's not actually a low action player.
Not really.
If you hand him a low action guitar, he doesn't.
Well, what happens is
I can't get under the string.
I just noodle like crazy.
Oh, is that what it is?
I just play really, really fast and gratuitous. I just because I can't. I don't know. I just don't know. Because I can't get under the string. I don't take.
So it's an issue of self control and self discipline, you guys. It's really more.
I'm like Cookie Monster when you give me one of those guitars.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to? I did all that in one breath, by the way.
I was up in the Bay Area playing with friends that I grew up with, and we played on a houseboat, and they gave me a whole houseboat.
You played on a houseboat?
Yeah, and it was really big, by the way, huge houseboat. And then they gave me an entire houseboat for the night, which is
what? Are you
it's
serious?
like a $1,300 houseboat a night, by the way. So I was like, this is amazing. I'm a little scared. I'll tell you what I did. These houseboats are not they're not screwing around over here. And it had a block of knives in it, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I'm staying in this huge houseboat by myself. I don't know what's going on. I grew up with sleepaway camp. I know who's in these mountains. Eugene. So I take that block of knives and I put it underneath the bed. Oh God, are you crazy?
Because you don't want to wake up to pee in the middle of the night and then you walk by, you notice there's a knife missing in the knife rack. Yeah, man.
And so
the worst.
I put those under the and then I realized, well, but maybe I'll wake up and they wouldn't have had a knife. And so, but I brought the knives in there, and so I was like, okay, I'm putting it in the bathroom because nobody's coming in here to pee and use the knives.
Ooh, what a combo.
Yeah.
What's going on in the chat? We have a lot of people saying hello.
Yacht
Hi,
Rock,
everybody.
yeah. Josh, yes, that's right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You're right, Yacht Rock.
That was true. And we played some Yacht Rock. We played some She Keeps You Running Up.
Yeah, Billy Gibbons, he's a notoriously nice guy, a true gentleman.
And a lot of people are really nice.
You know what? I'll let Billy know that I got a bender now. Yeah, gratuitous Eugene. It doesn't happen that often.
Well,
so let's talk a little bit about these guitar intros.
Yeah.
Now the one we start with, we played in the beginning of the show. There was "I Need You Tonight" by In Excess.
Yeah.
Now, I always say and it's also a good.
This is an interesting period too.
Guitar riff.
Yeah.
Now, I would say riffs generally, I would break them into two categories. Sometimes they're scale-based. What I really mean is like they're a single-note melody sort of thing. Or they're chord-based, meaning I was like a lot of great AC/DC intros. It's kind of like, it's like power chords, but played with syncopation.
Like Malcolm-y stuff.
Need You Tonight is a really good case of, it's obvious you're playing octaves. So it's a C minor scale.
Yeah, but it's not. The third is delineated by the progression, not by the chord. So it's an interesting.
Because at that point, it just we're just hearing an interval. There's no chord. There's no chord base. But it's the syncopation. It's the rhythm of it that makes it the hook. And
it's a funky song that's in minor, and there's not a ton of them actually.
It's really groovy.
There's not an endless number.
In fact, I might have been doing too many rakes. I don't know if the record. Yeah, I mean, does he do any rakes? He just gets it clean. So there's a lot of space in that.
But verse, that's there's a lot of that going on.
Just popcorn picking over here.
And then they're during that riff, that's the top line guitar.
Yeah.
On the main riff, and that
the bass line.
So you can hear a guitar comes in. There's a lot of production on that track. I think there's Lynn drums maybe on that track.
Maybe
it's like pretty quantized, you know. And because
sexy record though,
that album is amazing.
Yeah, it's a really good
when
album.
It finally goes to major too, later on in the song for the bridge, it's really cool too. That
slide over here, that part.
No.
I'm lonely. Wait, how's the bridge go? Now I got to play the whole song in my head.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we'll come back. We'll do the most iconic bridges next, okay? And not of Madison County either.
No.
Sorry.
Let's see. I would get a nylon string, not a classical though. A hybrid radius fretboard, not as wide. John Webby. I consider that's something that Dylan did mention. It's like a classical guitar really does have.
Yeah.
That is a very unique thing.
It's gonna make you work for it.
I don't know if I need to go that far, but if I did, I just make it work.
Well, this guitar wasn't an actual legit.
No, this one. You're right.
Concert
This one,
classical guitar.
Correct. It's not.
Yeah.
It was a studio classical.
These are
guitar,
studio classics. So that's what you're referring to.
And I now know that's still. I'm still gonna poke around and try and find one because
I would keep looking at
that price point. I thought, that's about good.
Yeah, and those older Ramirez's are great. You just have to look around. Mm-hmm. It's hard to buy guitars in the mail. That's always been hard.
But we try.
So another one. So this is let's see. So the coolest part about this song is you hear
the rakes.
Love and happiness. And there's an intro before the intro, which is like love and happiness. And there's like,
and he's just vamping. Yeah, I was vamping, and then you hear the.
I know.
You hear set tempo.
It's kind of like.
Yeah, you're right.
And the coolest thing about it is if you guys play this riff at home, it's sorry, you got to finger it. And this note's the weird note.
It is a strange scale.
It's a trippy riff,
You're
by
right.
the way, but it's played in perfect metronomic time.
Well, and it's you're right. It doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
And of course it's definitely not using a pick, and you can hear him really get under the string, so to speak, to like he's grabbing it, and then talk about great time, great rhythm. Even when he does that, I can hear you can hear that Hammond.
Yeah, exactly.
It just swoops in and like kind of like pulls the curtain back.
Oh, by the way, it's Love and Happiness by Al Green.
Love and Happiness by Al Green.
This is why it's also a very sampled one. Like DJs use this song a lot because that riff is highly metronomic, right?
Uh-huh.
And another one by the same artist that.
No, different artist.
Oh wait, I'm thinking of
that's Marvin Gaye.
Marvin Gaye, sorry. And like similar style, similar approach to playing in every regard, So, anyways, those are both two great intros.
Those are really, and they both. Yeah, I guess. Let's. Ooh, actually, which one comes out first? The same year. Let's Get It On is 73.
Yeah, they're at the same time.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we can have someone do the research on the exact dates of the releases of them because it's not because one's being recorded in L.A. and the other one's being recorded in Memphis. So it's not like they would have heard each other.
Al Green's in Memphis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same thing where it's like this kind of teasing single note guitar thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then the rest of the ensemble they just drop on the one. They just like a great EDM DJ. It's just like
I guess these are just great soul guitar openers that and they work, when you play them at bars, they're like cattle calls almost. Like, the people that are going to dance to this, they just instantly run. It's that type of a deal.
Remind me, speaking of great soul guitar intros, I assume we talked about Soul Man last time.
No,
we
sir.
didn't?
No, sir, we did not.
So that's Steve Cropper. Now, this is chord-based intro, and the song is in G. But the intro does this really nice dramatic thing where it's just kind of you just hear the bell of the ride just kind of keeping a quarter note thing. But essentially what's happening is we're hearing a G major, then an F major, then a B flat. So now it's like the first chord was G, but we just left G.
Yeah, right.
Then it goes to C, then it goes to D. That's the 5 of G. Then we get to the main riff of the song.
So you're modulating, right?
Yeah, it feels like it's kind of like it's very dramatic. Now, but what Steve Cropper does really, he simply uses his sixths on the G and high E string. So think of it, for one thing, think of it like a D-shaped chord, right? But your G, if the root is on the B string in our D-shaped world, in our cage world, then our G major triad is right here with the root on the 8th fret of the B string.
Yeah.
So think of that. So there's G. If we go down 2 frets, there's F. Now we're going to go all the way up to the 10th fret with the root of B flat being on the 11th fret. And then this goes up 2 frets to C. And then this goes up 2 frets to D. And then, so just think of it that way. Now, don't play the B string. Now and he's always doing this slide thing. And then we're in. Again, a lot of syncopation. But I just love that there's a real grace in the way that he just travels these, goes down, swoops up, then up, and gets us back to the homeland, if you will. And it just feels like such a harmonic journey.
Yeah.
And it creates the right almost drama and humor for when Sam and Dave come in and do their coming on a dusty road, good loving, like I'm a soul man, and it's kind of funny. It's why the Blues Brothers use it to great effect. Steve Cropper plays it on the original Sam and Dave record. He then plays it again roughly 10 years later, for the Blues Brothers.
Blues Brothers
doesn't change a thing.
So they can drive the car into the mall and everything.
The whole thing. Yeah, Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, but I mean, what's interesting about that is that's an intro where no one consulted a chord progression. Practice. I mean, this is a kind of a one-off intro where somebody's really just coming up with something that's totally unique. This is not something that's being used all the time.
No, we talked about, and it's funny because I think we talked about in very traditional country. That's Party in the USA.
Yeah. What is?
I don't know. Random, but glad that F company
Fender.
Oh well,
yeah. You know what? They were joking around. Yeah.
Oh well, we think they were.
No, they're not.
They're not going to take it away.
They've gotten rid of the Troopers, I believe, was it? With the click, 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 and they show up. No.
They made robots.
Yeah.
AI robots to take stuff, but the robots are so clunky they can't get in and out of cars. They can't climb stairs.
No. I mean, but they're strongly
They're
built.
afraid of Rex.
They're built. Yeah.
So
well, Rex is menacing.
So
we
still have lots of stuff left over laying around that they don't want cluttering their offices.
They're still very complimentary and friendly to
like,
us. By
guys,
the way.
we don't just hang on to it.
Yeah, they gave it to us.
A lot of that.
Yeah.
A lot of that. Yeah. So, but in country music, a very traditional intro would be what you call the last four, which I never even heard that term. But essentially, the last four measures of the chorus of the song. Just
country,
play that as
gospel,
an intro.
all kinds of stuff does that.
And in that case, sometimes it's a guitar playing the melody.
Right.
Fiddles, steel, something will take it. And so tonight we're doing quite a few songs. A friend of mine, Gray Delisle. Now, some people might recognize the name if you saw it in print because I think she's in the Guinness Book of World Records now as the most recorded voiceover artist. She's
Wow.
or having done the most characters. There's some significant thing that Gray has done over her career, and she just does lots of voices. You've probably seen her name usually at the end of the edits of like the rest of The Simpsons. She just does and Last Airbender and just tons of stuff that even I'm not, because I don't have a small child anymore, so I'm not up in the cartoon
And
world.
she's just knocking them out.
Writes these really funny, charming country songs.
Wow.
And her songs usually have a very traditional country intro. She keeps it really, because the crux of the song is her voice and the sly lyrics. One song we're doing is called "Quit Picking on Me," and it's actually her partner in the song that she's singing to is an incredible guitar player. And so that's the
Oh, that's pretty hilarious.
I don't like your middle finger when you switch from C to D. So why don't you quit picking on me?
Oh, that's great.
That's the type of stuff.
That's
and her
hilarious.
songs have these really traditional. And then we'll be singing that later on, let's go down to Terrytown and get our picture made. That's the actual end of the chorus of the song.
Yeah.
So that's the intro. 2, 3. And then we sing. So now what I'm saying is that is a relative, we could use it as a formula. We could say it's a formula.
Sure. Yeah.
It's a formula. It always works.
Well, if you played giant steps behind that, it wouldn't really land the same way. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I love your middle finger when you're. It just wouldn't land.
Yeah. So intros can perform differently. So, but what you're saying, back to Soul Man, where like that's not like a typical. That's not like a.
That is not even. It's
intro.
not formulaic at all.
Yeah.
It's not ubiquitous. And when you're, when you think about anybody that takes a risk when they're trying to make a popular song like that. There's less of those risks taken than ever. I mean, I was talking to students about this because there's a lot of platforms now that have a lot of content made for you to sort of just put together songs. And they sound, it's really great recordings, and they're done over here at the Sound Factory. Splice owns it, and the people that are making these recordings are fantastic. But it's like kind of modular songwriting, right? So you have music that's pre-recorded, and
Interesting.
And some people would call it cheating, and everybody's got an opinion. But at the end of the day, you still have to write a song, and what I do think it could do, though, is cause a lot of people to sort of write the same thing. And there's been times in music where that happened a lot. There was such a success with a particular style that it got used a ton. But is that even a bad thing? I mean, with that song that you just talked about with your friend, if there was too much variation in the chord progression, we're not going to pay attention to her lyrics.
That's right. There's it's with
an Occam's razor thing.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
And again, when we talk about country music, I always say one of the defining characteristics. I'm not saying I'm not making rules. I'm not saying
judging.
What is or isn't.
So if you guys aren't, I'll judge here now.
One of the defining characteristics of the genre over the course of 100 years is the narrative of the lyrics.
Yeah.
Usually it is a narrative. Usually it's a story being told.
Cowboy poetry.
As opposed to, again, not better or worse, but as opposed to like a lot of gospel,
right?
It's really about like a phrase being repeated,
right?
Usually,
it's more meditative,
a quote
in
from
that
the Bible
sense,
or something, or an inspirational phrase that's repeated a lot, and it's not particularly detailed in lyrics. I mean, sometimes it'll be a story.
Some songs are, but majority
it'll be a narrative from the Bible, but even that, it's kind of truncated, and it's not. Doesn't have a lot of details. Country music does.
Yeah.
So the focus, they want your focus to be on what the storyteller is saying. The instruments just have to support that, present it, support it. Oh, what a great example! It's an A. George Strait's The Chair. What a great example.
Two-chord, right?
It's just, excuse me, will I think you're in my chair? So in the song, it's just, it's such a brilliant song because it sort of seems like a dialogue, but it's not. We only hear the guy speaking. Y'all know this song? This is such a great song. And it's a pickup line. He's wooing this woman at a club.
But it's a story format the whole way through. Format.
And then by the end of the song, there's a twist. I won't give it away if you don't already know the song, but there's a twist, and the way it lands is so perfectly placed. It's so sublime. And beautiful little jazzy chord changes in it. It's real nice.
Now I got the truth.
Sublime. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. It was from. Is that from? It starts from the D.
Yeah.
There wasn't my chair after all.
So he just gave it away. It's not his chair. So he.
It was just a line.
She came up and she took somebody's chair, and he was saying, "Hey, that's my chair."
Right.
But it was never his chair.
I would have written another song, but that was my chair.
Yeah. Or what if it was my chair?
Yeah. Also, you know,
yeah.
I wanted to write a song. I know you didn't shoot. Wait. I know you shot the deputy, but who did shoot the sheriff?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No. I know you shot the sheriff. Who shot the deputy?
Who shot the deputy?
Well, we still have.
Or is the deputy still here? Check yes or no is another one. I mean,
what is this? What is that?
Check yes or no.
Oh,
it's another George Strait song. And I'm just saying that these are simple progressions because that song, it starts way back in third grade with Emmylou Hayes, and it's like there's a lot going on. And if you were doing, again, it wouldn't work.
Now and then, somebody mentioned yacht rock, although I do not consider. I don't even know what yacht rock means, but. I'll just say,
I think yacht rock has turned into a pejorative, actually.
It always was to me, yeah. We were talking about, before we went live, we were talking about Steely Dan.
Yeah.
Now, there's a group that has notoriously tricky chords and there's a lot of tricky stuff going on there.
There's not a lot of easy Steely Dan songs.
No. But it does fit with the sophistication of the lyrics. Also, those are very unique. He'll sing a song from the point of view of a young man who's created a hostage situation. He's probably already killed someone, and don't take me alive. Or the complexities of the character in Hey 19, who's dating someone who's 19 years old, and he's a baby boomer, and instead of dealing with the problems, they're just going to drink tequila and do cocaine and just glide on down. Was it Peg's intro?
Oh yeah. I don't remember that part. And we never played the horn part, so anyways.
Pretty. It's really just C to G, C major to G major 7, just like 4-4-1.
It's a disco song at that point. Yeah.
But the intro has this chromatic, like, what is going on there? But Deacon Blue has the same sort of thing. So now they're setting up. It seems to me like Steely Dan and those really complicated intros are setting up. They're kind of like preparing you for like all these really rich harmonies and progressions you're about to hear.
Yeah.
And those chords also give Fagen's voice the ability to sing over these scales that are not. They're not in pentatonic world, I'll tell you what. Although it's not really a guitar intro as much as it's a guitar solo that starts the song, but Reeling in the Years is pretty incredible. And simple. It's really just two chords. It's G and A over and over again.
Yeah, right.
It's just the fact that Elliot Randall plays like a madman over those two chords for a while that makes it so effective. What is hip but Tower Power?
That's another great intro.
What a great
by
intro.
Far. Yeah.
Now, that's a good example of a song. The way they came up with that song was from their sound checks and rehearsals. Everybody at the time was covering or grooving on Jeff Beck Group's version of I'm Going Down, Freddie King, which was like this shuffle.
Right.
So they were kind of but then they just, being Tower of Power, they've tightened it up
and Rocco
really rocked it. Yeah. And just Rocco on bass just makes it this really staccato thing.
I mean, he's got stamina on that.
Oh,
jeez.
my God.
There
was a funky voice from the Bay Area.
Yeah.
My Old School, great one.
Yeah, My Old School's got a great intro. We could do a whole Steely Dan intros, because Steely Dan is big on intros. They were writing like theme songs in LA before they, I think, got their record contract, and so they were just popping out. If you're listening to theme songs in the early 70s, they're really these intricate, incredible.
So I've been listening to the full version of the theme to the Rockford Files.
But you have to go into the annals for that. You know?
And that's Jim Gordon on drums, who was one of the most recorded session drummers across the 60s and 70s. And he's on it. And I could just imagine the chart. You just listen how many shifts, tempo, groove, accents, drop out, come back in. It's just this long thing. I'm thinking, that's a bunch of people playing this thing.
Yeah.
This is really impressive.
So I taught at a school here in L.A. where Joe Piccaro taught for a long time. I think he's one of the original teachers there. And I remember him telling a story about the number of songs in the 70s and 80s and all the way through the 90s into the early 2000s that have session drummers playing on them. Because very rarely, apparently, were they necessarily using the actual drummer in the band. And they would have somebody come back in and record. I mean, especially in rock, by the way. This is mostly rock.
Josh Freese.
Yeah,
Josh Freese.
Right, yeah.
Very big session drummer. And I think he talks to Rick Beato, maybe.
Oh, really?
And he's great in the interview. And he's careful. He doesn't name names.
Right.
But he tells stories flat out. Like he just gets hired to play a session. He comes in, and he sits it, and he's looking in the, on the other side of the glass in the console room, and you see there's just like some guy on the other side of the glass pointing like,
why is it?
What's
wrong with my drums?
And
if we have to tell you,
and he goes, I'm sitting there realizing, shit, that's the drummer from the band who's, and no one told him.
Yeah,
not very nice.
Yeah,
happens a lot. I believe.
Well, if you want the drums in time,
I don't think I'm telling tales out here. I believe Josh Freese is the one who's playing drums on the Tragic Kingdom, the No Doubt album.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And what's funny is that I remember seeing.
Not ha funny.
Well, no, it's ironic.
Yeah.
Here's what's ironic is that I went and saw No Doubt at Arrowhead. No, not Arrowhead. What's the Anaheim Ducks Stadium? And I saw them in Anaheim right when they exploded. And this really great legendary Orange County punk band called the Vandals opened for them.
Yeah.
But Josh was the original drummer in the Vandals.
Oh, wow.
And so he's playing with the Vandals.
Right.
And then they all come out for the last song of the night, and like Josh is on drums. And I was thinking, and I didn't know at the time though that like the drummer in the opening band is actually the guy that's playing on the album of the headliner.
Yeah. And that's before, I guess, Beat Detective or whatever was around, in Pro Tools that would allow you to use anybody. I suppose. And fix the drums.
No, sometimes I remember my friend, a friend of mine, Marty Rifkin, he's a steel player and he does lots of big sessions. And remember that band Fastball?
Yeah.
So,
what is they had a huge hit.
The Way, which was a rewrite of Best of Mucho. But their follow-up album, they had a song called The Ocean, and Marty's on it. And he said, and I remember at the time, I liked the song a lot. And I said, wow, I'm hearing your steel like on the radio a lot. I said, how was the session? He goes, it was great because we actually all tracked together.
Sure.
And then the second thing he says, and Fastball's drummer plays.
Yeah.
Like he's on the record.
Right, which is
Marty pointed that out because it was remarkable.
Yeah.
It was, oh my God, that's the actual drummer from the band. And it's not, So yeah, drums ended up.
Unless you're in the studio recording all the time and under immense pressure, you don't realize how calculating you have to be to play
I'm
on
going way
records.
off base here. We talked about like 2 intros this whole time.
Oh, I'm sorry
Wasn't
about
that. A Mike Post thing? I think maybe Mike Post wrote that. Jerry Reed Guitar Man has an unbelievable intro, and he's in an alternate tuning for that. So if you're trying to learn that one, Josh, just sort of be warned. But
don't.
Speaking of Jim Gordon, the session drummer, he's on Carly Simon's "You're So Vain."
Oh wow.
And the producer, they made that album in England, and Carly's band was in England,
right,
preparing to tour. And so I think they used her band for 7 touring. Songs on that album.
Oh, okay.
But the producer reserved, but I'm going to use my own guys for a couple of songs, specifically the ones that I think are going to be singles. I think that was the idea. So now Andy Newmark was the drummer in Carly Simon's band. Now Andy becomes a very, very renowned drummer, but at the time he's this young gun.
Yeah.
And he's told, listen, Jim Gordon's going to be playing drums today on this track. And Andy says, can I watch?
Oh, wow. Okay.
It was just like, no feelings hurt, but this is an opportunity for me. And so Andy went up to Jim and said, hi, I'm Carly's drummer. And Jim, oh, nice to meet you. Because I'm excited to hear you.
Yeah.
And would you mind if I watched? And just no, not all. Get a chair. And so he sat, and they did several takes. And Andy Newmark tells the story years later. He goes, watching the guy, it was the right education.
Huh.
Everything was deliberate.
Right.
He was never guessing, but the control he had, the discipline, the different volumes coming out of different parts of his kit, where he was putting emphasis.
Yeah, especially volumes and dynamic variability.
The guy's just doing a clinic for me, And I thought, wow, the grace of both those men to understand the roles and what was best.
Well, one of them's got to go on
moment.
stage and look, like he's having the time of his life. That's not necessarily the studio player's life.
No,
it's not
no.
always.
No.
That's not always how it works.
That's not how he's working. What are the other intros you have? I'm sorry. We'll do a few more minutes and then I'm coming out soon. But you got to explain to me what is that? What are the chords to that? It's going by so fast.
So
one at a time.
It's the first chord is F. It's like a piece of F, though. It's like a fourths of F.
A fourths of F?
Yeah. So instead of you have the 2 on the top.
Okay.
Creates fourths. And that's a C.
Okay.
So
down to B flat.
He does a ton of variation in it.
Chord based, lots of syncopation.
Man,
Nile Rodgers with his hitmaker, right?
I don't know that. Yeah, and I don't.
I'm sorry. Have you seen the Fred Armisen bit about this?
No.
Have you guys seen this? Okay, so I saw Fred do this a year and a half ago. Fred does a live show, a one-man show. I saw him the first night he did it was back in Long Beach, and I went and saw him. And he does a bit. He's at his drum kit. Fred is, and he's impersonating the drummer on that session.
Oh, what is
where it's just, and he's just, oh sorry, what how does this song go? And then there's just Miss Ross, I don't. And
how long is the intro on this song? It's like a minute and a half long, right?
And the drummer, and finally, and at one point he just, how do you guys know this song? And then he's just, but he's playing it perfectly.
Yeah, but when he comes in,
he's playing it perfectly.
Yeah.
And then locks in.
Yeah,
but it really does. I can never hear that intro the same way because of Fred. You're right,
is that from Portlandia or is that just... it's just a skit.
It's a thing.
Like a Mad TV skit or something?
No, it's a live... He does a live show, a one-man show.
Wow.
Where it's all music-based.
Oh, wow.
And he's got drum kits, he's got guitars. It's just
that's hilarious.
Music humor.
Who was the guy that used to play piano and tell jokes the whole time? You know exactly who it is.
Well, Zach Galifianakis did it. He played piano quite a bit in his act.
No. I'm trying to think of his name.
I don't know. That guy that wrote all those political songs in the 80s?
No. This is like an English guy. And
the Australian dude?
Yes, that's it.
He's the eyeliner and the hair and stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, come on, man.
I mean, I don't know the guy's name.
Okay, well, you know what?
Tim something? Tim something.
Wow, that could actually be right. That feels right. It felt right. But anyway, so there's a lot of really good intros obviously by Nile Rodgers.
Yeah.
It's hard. Did anybody really play guitar like Nile Rodgers before him? I don't know.
That's interesting. Obviously, we had funk.
With that level of syncopation.
We had disco. We had all that stuff happening before that. But Motown and R&B guitar intros, if they were usually like the Al Green intro, like Let's Get It On.
I just don't know that was cool, that level of...
Like Kool and the Gang and Earth, Wind & Fire, they relied on horns mostly. But you're right. That Niles really just takes what would have normally just been like the rhythm guitar part to the song.
Yeah.
And just makes that the intro, essentially.
Yeah.
Let's Dance is another good example. The David Bowie Let's Dance.
Right.
Because that's we're really Niles all over that.
It really is until the SRV.
And then Stevie comes in later on. But in fact, that's... I don't, those chords are... I think it's like two guitars playing at the same time. So it's not like one guitar can really...
cover
make
the
those
song.
Voicings together.
Yeah.
But that and that of course they put the delay on it to give it that groove. All that
feels like a precursor to U2 to me as well.
Oh,
you know
interesting.
What I
mean? Yeah. There's some like that. Well, like the Streets Have No Name. That's talk about a guitar intro.
Right. Exactly.
Just setting that was at a quarter. was a
it's a dotted eighth note,
dotted eighth note delay,
and then you set the feedback, fairly short so that you can switch around.
Yeah, I mean that's.
I read that they used
Dudley Moore played piano and told jokes.
Yeah, I read that. That's who I was thinking of as Dudley Moore. Thank you. He was talking about somebody newer. I read that they used the guitar was actually the metronome in U2. And
that makes sense.
That Korg unit that he uses, that's like a Korg DD something.
Old one, yeah.
Yeah, that was the brain of the band.
That's funny.
Because they really, I mean.
That's incredible.
And you got to remember, like, early digital delay, you didn't have the same level of tap-in and different types of things that you have now.
No, yeah.
So he had to set the tempos the whole time.
Makes
the
sense.
Edge did. And that's pretty revolutionary.
Kelly has so does an intro help break down later parts of a song in tackling something challenging? Ooh, well, if it does, it doesn't do it on purpose necessarily. An intro can, though, indicate almost like in classical music, there would be an overture. Which an overture, or even in a musical, there's an overture, and it kind of gives you all the themes and all the songs, little snippets of all the songs.
That's actually from opera originally.
That you're going to hear over the course of this whole thing. So some intros will kind of hint at the things that are coming.
The themes
but in pop music,
up. Yeah.
since we're in such a short format,
it's
not going to give you... I give you the intro that we talked about last time, where one of the intros was to 8 Days a Week by the Beatles.
Yeah.
Where we're really hearing two jangly guitars playing D major, E major, G, then back to D. And that's really the main chord progression we're going to hear over the course of that song. But it's not really locking into the rhythm that we're going to be in once Ringo's drums come in. So it's a really good, an intro can kind of indicate sometimes all the things that we're going to hear later on in the song, as much as it can. Spear and Magic Helmet. The reference. Spear and Magic Helmet. Wait a minute. Why is that? Jim, what are you doing to me? Oh man, Spear and Magic Helmet. What is that?
Spear and Magic Helmet.
I don't know. I can't get it. I'm almost there, but I can't get it. So Tim Minchin, thank you. That's who you're thinking of. Tim Minchin.
Tim Minchin, yeah. See, so they know who all these people are. Yeah.
Yeah, they know. We should ask them.
Tim Minchin's hilarious, by the way. He's Australian. I thought he was.
Is he? I
thought he was British.
I don't.
Feels British. It's hard to say.
I don't know.
Oh, Bugs Bunny. Yeah. So think about Bugs
Kill
Bunny.
the Rabbit. That's Wagner. Thank you.
Wagner. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so overtures were. They would demonstrate all the leitmotifs, and the leitmotifs are when every star would come, or every character would come into the opera, they would have their own song. And this is followed up in Disney movies, animated movies. You have a song for Beauty and the Beast. And so they would sort of give you a hint at all of those, a very short hint, and they're woven together in the overture, and oftentimes in the intermission music as well. So, like... That concept was to build familiarity. I don't think so much with intros, that idea was there as much as it was something to have to avoid going, help, I need somebody help, because they didn't always have that type of a button start on everything.
One of my favorite intros is from Substitute by the Who. Because the intro, it's chord. It's just he's working his chords really well, but he's actually playing. He's playing the melody of the chorus.
It's a good one.
It's very clever because it's in D, so he's droning the D string. You got this. Wait, am I playing that right? Substitute. Da, da, da. So he's kind of like giving the light. Well, there's only one leitmotif in that song, really.
Yeah.
But it's sort of it goes by very quickly. We get the energy, we get the tempo. We know it's a guitar-based pop song, and we're gonna hear this. We're gonna hear that melody in there. That's a really good one. That one comes to mind. Also, one of my favorites.
That style of playing too. That's a really. That style of playing carried over into the 70s to a great level, and there was a lot more precision in his playing than a lot of people were playing at that time.
He spoke a lot. He didn't study Spanish or flamenco guitar ever.
Pete didn't.
But he did reference it as he just realized, look, Eric and Jeff are clearly blues masters.
Right. We'll let them do that.
The Beatles have a 2 guitar attack thing and he just tried to figure out, well, what's everyone else not doing?
Sure.
And he realized I'm just gonna be like my rhythm guitar playing is gonna be, and actually the bass player's playing lead the whole time.
Yeah, right.
So they
on several songs.
On a lot. So but you're this strumming he just borrowed that from his impersonation of flamenco. So these really strong rhythm.
Was classical gas before?
No, that was 1969.
Okay, so that's not before that. Yeah.
But anyway, guys, I gotta go. I gotta shave.
He's got a cough.
I gotta get sewn into my outfit.
Going, so
we will be here next week. We'll discuss a topic. You guys drop us a line.
Yeah.
Go to Patreon, support us, give some suggestions.
Make sure. If you guys can like this video, and
you're right, Eric. There's no way to look these things up.
Yeah. There's no way to know.
If only.
There's no way to know. It dies here today. We'll never know after this. But if you guys can like this video, that'll help us a lot. We're trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers so we can take over the world. That is the plan.
Yes, we're going to. Now, before I go, do you think you'll... Well, I'm gonna take it tonight. I'll only use this guitar for gigs here in LA. I use all of Dwight's stuff on the Dwight gigs.
That way they can have a sound.
And that way that's a controllable thing. And plus it's always set up a day ahead.
Yeah.
And Dwight's got the double wide one that Gene Parsons, who invented that version of it, made for Dwight. So I'll always be using that one.
Eugene's chiropractor bills,
Well, that's the thing that I talked about. We talked about the weight of that. And Billy Gibbons, he says, look, and he stood. And
the shoulder,
he's like, from that last, like he's just so as he's talking about a guitar maker in Boise, Idaho, who's using an extremely light wood and making guitars.
It's
and
Paulownia, maybe.
Yes, that's it. Wow, that's it. Yeah, apparently it's as light as balsa, but the grain of it has the strength of like an alder. So
there's some Fender custom shop stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if they release guitars made out of it.
So Billy
sounds good.
Billy wants to. Not that I don't mind the weight of guitars, but Billy's already looking out for my back.
Yeah, no, because when you play all the time. Hey, you guys have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Take care of yourselves. Yeah. Leitmotifs. You're my kind.
Get out of here.
That was good. Just like the record.